So course 2, grade 7, 2.1. So 2.1, I want to talk about integers. So integers are the numbers that as a whole, and it can be positive or it can be negative. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about opposite. So opposite or additive inverse, they can be used interchangeably. So the opposite or additive inverse, but additive inverse has the other meaning. So now I will just simply put additive inverse here. So the opposite, the additive inverse, the number is the same distance. So the opposite of a number is the same distance from 0 on a number line as the original number but on the other side of 0. So this concept is important, the opposite of the number with the same distance, like the distance is the same from 0 and on a number line. So the opposite of the number has the same distance. So 0 serves as the a line, like let's just say the point of reflection, or we can see a mirror on the 0. So 0 serves as the point of reflection, and then the opposite has the same distance as the original number. So if the original number is 8, then the opposite of 8 is negative 8. Okay, so secondly, I want to talk about additive inverse. So additive inverse is just like opposite, is a number on the same distance on 0 on a number line as the original number at the same time on the other side of the 0. So now additive inverse. So additive inverse is something that goes into the opposite of the number line, but additive inverse has another meaning. So a number, the sum of a number and its additive inverse equals to 0. So a number and its additive inverse equals to 0. So two things added up equals to 0. So one is positive 8, the other will be negative 8. Basically, they are the same distance from the 0, so that they got canceled out. So this is the meaning of the additive inverse. It's more of a sum of the number and the additive inverse that will make the sum 0. It's an additive inverse that will make the sum of the number 0. Okay, so let's talk about integer. So integer are the set of whole number and their opposite. So integer is the set. The set is like a basket. There's lots of number inside, and who gets to go inside depends on their properties and what we want. So integers are the set of whole numbers and their opposite. So by using integers, we can express elevations above, below, or at the sea level. So sea level, above the sea level, getting close and close in the air to the sky, or below to the sea level, getting closer and closer underground, under the sea. So sea level has an elevation of 0 feet. So for instance, sea level equals to 0 feet. Okay, so now I want to talk about the relationship of the numbers on a number line. Okay, so now I have -4 and +4. So -4 and +4 are actually opposite. Okay, so 0 is neither positive or negative. It serves as the point of reflection, like in the center. So 0 is neither positive nor negative. And then things to the right, this part to the right, we call them positive integers. And then things to the left side of the 0, we call them negative integers. And then these numbers are quite discrete, like it's nothing inside, it's not non-continuous, it's discrete. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so now I want to graph integer -3 and the opposite on a number line. So when I graph a number line, first of all, I find the 0. Then I graph the integer -3. Okay, so the opposite is the number with the same distance from 0. So same distance, 1, 2, 3. So this becomes +3. So the opposite of 3 of -3 is +3. So now we want to compare the integers using a number line. So we know using number line as a tool, a very important tool in math. We start from 0. So positive, the more right it is, and the more right the number is, the larger it is. And I got -2 over here because it's on the negative side and the distance is the same. It's also 2 units. So in this case, my +2 is larger than -2. So where the fish mouth open is a larger number because fish wants to eat the food that's larger. And then, so now I have question B. So then for question B, now I have -10 and -7. So on a number line, I got 0 here, and then -7 will be closer because negative means like we miss or lose something. So losing less something is larger and better than losing more. So that's -7, this is -10. And since -7 is more to the right, so we know that -7 is larger than -10. Now for example 3, use a number line to order the integers -2, 5, -4, 1, -1, and 0 from least, the smallest, to the greatest. So now at this moment, I have a number line, and then I want to list the integers. So first of all, I find where the 0, the origin is. And then after I find where 0 is, then I will go from -2. So -1, -2, -3, -4. So I got -2, I got 0. I also get -1. And then I get 1. Then I get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I get -4. So this is my number line, and I want to order it from the smallest to the largest. So at this moment, -4 smaller than -2, smaller than -1, smaller than 0, smaller than 1, smaller than 5. Okay, and later I want to introduce you a new concept called the absolute value. So the absolute value is the distance from 0 on a number line. So absolute value is the distance from 0 to a number line, and since the distance will never be negative, they are always positive or 0. So the absolute value is always positive or 0. So then to find the absolute value, first of all, we try to use a number line to find it. So now the distance to 0 is 7. So now I want to list my number line, list 7 on my number line. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get 7 on the number line. I want to try to find the distance. So this is 7. So the absolute value here equals to 7. Then I want to find the number line. This is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4. So -4, distance from -4 to 0 is 4. So the absolute value of -4 is 4. And then now let's do think and discuss.